America is one of the most populated and developed countries on Earth. Its cities are filled with millions of people. Its highway never truly sleeps, and modern lights continue to glow deep into the night. But far beyond the western edge of that world, there is a region that feels almost disconnected from modern America. A place so quiet that someone can drive for hours without seeing another person. No major cities, no crowded streets, only endless roads, dry winds, and a silence that seems to go on forever. That place is known as the Great Basin. And the question is, why does almost nobody live there? The Great Basin stretches across the western United States. Most of it lies within Nevada, while other parts extend into Utah, Oregon, Idaho, and California. In terms of size, it is enormous. But compared to much of America, its population remains surprisingly small. Even Nevada, the state at the center of the Great Basin, is one of the least densely populated states in the country. And the deeper someone travels into this region, the more it begins to feel like a place never truly meant for human settlement. There are few trees, few large rivers, very few signs of life. Only dry mountain ranges, vast deserts, and empty valleys that seem to stretch endlessly toward the horizon. But what makes the Great Basin fascinating is not simply its emptiness. It is the fact that for hundreds of years, people have continued trying to turn this place into a home. During the 19th century, America was moving westward. Thousands of people left the eastern states and began long journeys into unfamiliar lands. They came with hope. Hope for gold, hope for land, hope for a new life. And like many places across the American West, the Great Basin was once seen as part of the nation's future. When silver was discovered in Nevada, people arrived almost overnight. Small towns emerged from the desert. Railroads were built. Hotels appeared. General stores opened their doors. In some places, life expanded with astonishing speed. But there was one problem. This land was never truly welcoming to human life. Water is the reason many civilizations have survived. And the Great Basin has very little of it. Most of this region is extremely dry, Rainfall is scarce, large rivers are rare, and many lakes here have no outlet to the ocean. The water that enters the basin simply evaporates back into the sky. That is why the region is called the Great Basin, a massive bowl-shaped landscape where water becomes trapped and slowly disappears. For those who tried to settle here, these conditions became a constant struggle. Farming was difficult. The soil was hard and unforgiving. Summers could be brutal, and in many places, nature seemed to constantly remind people that they were only temporary visitors here. Today, Nevada is mostly known for Las Vegas, a city of lights rising from the desert floor. But beyond Las Vegas, Nevada feels like an entirely different world. Most of the state is nearly empty. There are highways that cut through hundreds of miles of desert without passing a single major town. Some people call it the loneliest road in America. And the name is not an exaggeration. In parts of the Great Basin, a person can truly feel alone. No human voices, no crowds, only the sound of the wind. And an emptiness so vast, it feels capable of swallowing everything around it. The silence here feels different, not peaceful like a forest, but silent, in a way that makes people feel small. Scattered throughout the Great Basin are hundreds of ghost towns, places that were once filled with life. Most of them were born from mining booms. When silver or gold was discovered, people arrived quickly. But when the mines began to run dry, they left. And what remained were empty buildings, silent roads, and the remains of dreams that never lasted very long. Some towns lost nearly their entire population within only a few years, because in the Great Basin, life often depended on something fragile. A single mine, a single water source, a single railroad connection. And once those things disappeared, the silence returned. Today, Many of these places feel like forgotten fragments of time, as though the world simply stopped there and never truly moved again. And yet, despite its harshness and isolation, there are still people who choose to live in the Great Basin. Some remain because their families have lived there for generations. Some stay because of work, and others because they are searching for the very silence most people try to escape. In a modern world that grows louder every year, the Great Basin offers something increasingly rare: space. Dark night skies, great distances, and a slower way of life. But living in a place like this requires something not everyone possesses: patience, and the ability to coexist with loneliness. For hundreds of years, people tried to conquer the Great Basin. They built towns, opened mines, created roads. They believed that, like so many other parts of America, this place would eventually become filled with life. But the Great Basin never truly changed. And perhaps that is what makes it so fascinating. In a country that constantly grows, builds, and moves forward, the Great Basin remains still, empty, quiet, silent. It is almost as though the land itself was never meant to hold people for very long. And perhaps that is why so much of this region remains empty even today. Not because people never tried, because in certain places of the world, nature always has the final word.